for our second match here, we have another 150-point game. We're going to have 4 Tempest Squadron pilots with TIE X1 and Accuracy Corrector. Mauler Mythal, Backstabber, and Soontir Fell with Push the Limit and Auto Thrusters versus Han Solo, Push the Limit, Engine Upgrade, Recon Specialist, Jan Orch, Millennium Falcon, Dash Rendar, Heavy Laser Cannon, Lebo. Interesting. The Lebo crew member lets you take a boost action and get a focus. Get a focus. Take a boost action and get an ion token instead. And then Wedge Antilles, Predator, R2-D2 shield upgrade. Oh. Here, right. And I'm going to just a little bit more bookkeeping, getting all my nameplates ready. There's a lot of ships here. Give me a second. I'm sorry. Hey, he just did something that kind of freaked me out. I hope he doesn't do it again. He put an orange range ruler in front of the camera, and I didn't see him do it, and it kind of startled me when I looked back up. But everything's good. He's just trying to mess around with me. Okay. Hold on. Because if after David scared the crap out of me and made me think my camera was broken, he's now trying to tell me that his Tempest Squadrons have names. Yeah, like I was typing in some stuff and then I looked up and then it was orange. All right, Lambot's a troll and he's trying to troll me. Oh, Soontir's already on the table. He's way up here at the top. And yet again, I'm going to kill my links. So just so we can see where everything's at. big thanks for everyone for tuning in. Just so everybody knows, we will be taking about a month off. We're going to skip a show. We'll be back in 4 weeks because 2 weeks from now is the big local convention here, Dragon Con. By the way, Lambot will be running X-Wing demos and tournaments and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and give him the go-ahead. Hey, by the way, David, you can start. So yeah, if anybody out there in the wild who's listening is coming to Dragon Con, come say hi. Lambot will be in the gaming dungeon of the Hilton. I will be stopping in now and again. I actually work in the vendors area, so I won't be there the whole time. But it's definitely going to be a good time, and we'll be back in 4 weeks. And by then, I know I was trying to have some announcements about new content coming to the show tonight. But it turns out that we're adults and we have a lot of stuff going on in September. So on the next show, we will be bringing you the announcement about adding our next game. We have plans to add Imperial Assault to the show. Our bi-weekly X-Wing nights will absolutely remain intact. So if you only play this game, don't fret. But we're going to start playing Imperial Assault in our off weeks. The Tempest Squadron pilots go straight ahead, and the TIE fighters tuck in behind. Han Solo moving first. Of course, all 3 ships on Brandon's side. The right side here are... Oh, speaking of which, I haven't put up player names. All 3 of Brandon's ships are Pilot Skill 9. Dash Rendar will fly straight ahead, ignoring that debris field, and then we'll boost. By the way, he wanted to play with the new debris field in the Imperial Raider. I allowed it. Cool ... story from KLF squared. It's like I said, it's okay if you don't play Imperial Assault. I won't be upset. I will be upset if you don't watch X-Wing anymore, because we're still going to be doing that every 2 weeks. Soontirfell will take a 1 turn. He has that boost template in his hand. Deciding if he wants to go ahead and commit Soontir, or probably wondering if Soontir is now or would be in range of Dash Rendar if he took a boost action. KLF squared. The plan is actually to get a regular group together. Probably some people that you know from the show here already, like I don't know, people you know that have been on the show before, and we're gonna play a skirmish every week, and then a campaign mission, or maybe start with a campaign mission and follow up with a skirmish or something like that. Dash Rendar will attack first on Soontir Fel. Heavy laser cannon, of course. spend his action to boost, so he only has, he only gets 1 hit. And Soontir Fel does what Soontir Fel does and doesn't take damage. He will then return fire. He's going to focus for 3. Oh, he didn't focus. I guess he got 3 hits naturally. I see... I think it was a hit 2 eyeballs, so it's going to be 2 shields off a dash. Minor correction on the screen here. Wedge has a shield upgrade, and I listed his shield value as 2. He has 3 shield. The Tempest formation looks like they're going to do a 3 bank into the fray of those double turrets. Now, all 4 of these Tempests have accuracy corrector via the TIE X1 title. So they're going to likely use those focus tokens they're taking all for defense, because they're going to roll 2 hits on every attack. Backstabber will follow suit, stay in formation with the Tempest squad. Since he did, I bet Mauler will too. I bet he's wishing he put Backstabber in the front. Dash Rendar will take a 2 straight ahead. Fire him, I'd boost a barrel roll, but actually probably boost because, well, no, because he'll take another ion token. Doesn't want to barrel roll onto that asteroid, which is why I took it back and said I would Barrel roll. Probably choosing not to use Dash's ability here. Not sure what they're talking about. Probably rule clarification or something like that. Looks like he is going to choose to stay on that asteroid. Interesting. Maybe he didn't hit the asteroid. I don't know. It's hard to say. But Han Solo will now go one straight. Looks like he's going to... focus, double evade, be push the limit, recon specialist, and Jan Ors. And now Wedge Antilles. It's his turn to activate. I almost just see him going one forward or maybe a two bank. Yeah, there's a two bank. Okay, left squared. Dash Rendar can choose if he chooses to barrel roll into asteroids, but it's based on what I see here. I'm not sure he did. Let me. I'll go out and check as soon as we see Sunterfeld's final position here. Sunter will two bank in, and then he's got a barrel roll template, choosing exactly where he wants to land. That's going to let him avoid Wedge's arc there. I would evade and focus because he's in range of Dash. Yep, there we go. I'm going to go check to see if Dash is on there. Yeah, that's actually a debris field. I let him use the debris fields from the Raider, even though they're not technically tournament legal. Yeah, whatever. But, yeah, that's a debris field, and he still actually is allowed to fire on top of that debris field. I thought it was an asteroid. I was mistaken. Looks like it's going to be Dash Rendar, heavy laser cannon to backstabber. 3 hits. I see maybe 1 evade. 2 cards onto backstabber. Han Solo, range 3 onto Tempest number 4. 3 dice versus 4. Both ships are focused. He will focus for 4 hits. Or for 3 hits, excuse me. And then Lambot will focus for 3 evades. Tempest 4 onto Han. Accuracy corrector for 2 hits. Tempest 3 on that shot was completely evaded. Tempest 3 onto Han. Accuracy corrector for 2 hits. 1 evade and an evade token. Another accuracy corrector from Tempest number 2, I believe. Han Solo loses 1 shield. They're now remembering that Suntirfeld did not fire. He will focus for 3. Against Wedge Antilles. Looks like range 3 obstructed. Actually, it appears that Jan Ors allowed Wedge to take an evade token, which allowed Wedge to completely evade that shot there. And we are back to dials. Han unfortunately has that rock right in front of him, but I think he can 1 turn up, maybe 2 or 3 bank up, and then boost away from those Tempest squads. They're going to want to go. They want to keep Han Solo in their sights, but he does have engine upgrade, so it might not be hugely easy because he can boost away after he knows where those TIE fighters are going to land. TIE fighters, TIE advanced, and the like. I see Dash 1 turning to his right. And then probably just focus up and hang out. Tempest 4 takes 2 straight. And we'll focus. And it looks like the TIE fighters will follow suit again. Except Mauler Mythil, who still goes straight, but he goes straight really fast so that he can hopefully be at range 1 of Han Solo and roll that extra attack die. Oh, Dash just takes a 1 straight. Considering where all the TIE fighters are, that's not a bad idea. Not what I said. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's. I mean, that doesn't mean it's wrong. Whatever. I'm not good at X-Wing. Ooh, it's hard to say. Han Solo might have barely clipped that asteroid there, which means he's not going to be able to boost away. We'll see in a moment what they decide. He takes actions. Probably looking to see if he should boost. In my opinion, he should definitely boost. And he does. He goes ahead and takes that straight ahead boost action, avoiding some more of those TIE advanced arcs. Wedge Antilles takes a 1 bank, which will actually run him into Chewbacca. Probably wasn't expecting to have to boost forward. Soontir Fel takes a 2-turn, and how it looks like what he wants. Actually, I don't know if he wants to bump because Wedge is looking at him. Looks like he's very, very close to that Falcon. Which is, that's the opposite of anywhere that he wants to be. So he's going to double focus evade and hope for the best. Contemplating who he can attack. If Han Solo doesn't take that opportunist shot on Soontir Fel, I'd be really upset about it. Dash is going to go to Backstabber first. And he will focus for 4 hits against Backstabber. Lambot digging under the table for something. Maybe he drops some dice. And Backstabber's out. Han Solo, range 1 onto Soontir Fel. He'll focus up for 4 hits. And a crit goes through on Soontir Fel. Spins a focus and an evade token. I'm going to find out what that crit is. And that's a direct hit on Soontir Fel. He's down to 1 hull in the second exchange of the game. Wedge Antilles, range 1 onto Soontir, and Soontir's out. That's big to happen this early in the game. TIE Fighter's checking arc. Looks like Mauler Mythil has wedge, range 3 obstructed. Two hits. And we'll focus for a bunch of evades. Tempest number 2, same target, range 3. And 2 evades. The TIE Advanced, the Empire, the Lambot's in a rough spot right now. Like, maybe he could. The TIE Advanced can't do 1 turns. Maybe a K turn and catch dash in arc, or maybe a 3 bank and barrel rolls. It's that asteroid's in the way though. It's hard to say. We might see a turn with none or very little fire from the TIE Advanced here. J Turn 314 says he loves to see Soontir Fel die so early. I do not love seeing Soontir Fel die that early. I love playing interceptors, even though I'm bad with them. And that just, that sucks. And the TIE Advanced are going to break right. Probably knowing he wouldn't have any shots this turn, he's going to line himself up for a K turn or another pass in a future round. And that looks like focus all around. One turn from Dash Rendar. And then Dash will barrel roll toward the enemy, so he can avoid that asteroid. He'd probably landed on that asteroid if he did a boost. But that definitely puts him within range 3 of the enemy. That's exactly where he wants to be. Lambot going ahead and preemptively setting his dials for next turn. Han Solo takes a 1 bank around the outside of that debris field. Looks like he might have a range 3 on Mauler Mythil. It's hard to call. He's going to go ahead and choose to boost around. Wedge will perform a 3-turn. Will not use R2-D2 to recover a shield. Probably didn't expect those TIE fighters to move quite so far in the direction that they did, but that's okay for Lambot. Wedge might have Tempest number 1 way out of range 3 obstructed. It's hard to say, though. Dash has 2 Tempests and Mauler Mythil at range 3. He can take his pick. It's going to be Dash Rendar, heavy laser cannon on Mauler Mythil. And he will focus for 4. Looks like a lot of paint there. I think... Oh, he may have evaded everything. Wow. If I were the Rebel player here, I would just take a 1 bank straight down to the ship's right toward the bottom of the screen here. Only because I don't know where those Tempests are going to go. They might decide to turn up, or they might decide to K-turn right here. And if they decide to K-turn, they're going to broadside you. Yep, that's going to be a 4K from the Tempest Squadron. That'll actually put, if Dash does what I said, it'll put him out of range. He could barrel roll into range, I think, but whatever he wants to do. And stress all around for the TIE fighters. Wedge will take another 3-turn. Looks like he's going to hit that rock there. And he does. And Wedge will take a shield damage from hitting that asteroid. Kind of looking like Wedge is going to take a lot of shots from some Tempest squad. Maybe only 2. Dash banks in toward the enemy. Morally, I only think Wedge is dead if that back row of Tempest, the back row of TIE Advanced are in range. I'm not quite sure they are. Dash Rendar will boost in. That's a surprising move. That's going to give him 2 ion tokens, too. Or another ion, which means he's just going to drift forward next turn. Interesting move there. I question that, but that's what he wanted to do. And Han will take a 1-turn toward the inside. To his left. Followed by a boost action. That's not going to put Han in range, however. Dash Rendar choosing his target. It's going to be Dash Rendar, heavy laser cannon on Mauler Mythil. I see a lot of paint. Focus for 3 hits. 2 evades. And a damage on Mauler Mythil. Wedge is going to take a shot at the same target. 1 hit. And easily evaded. Of course, that was +1 die from range 3 and -1 die from Wedge Antilles' pilot ability. That was range 3 Mauler Mythil against Dash. Actually, against Wedge, but he blanked out, so it doesn't matter. Tempest number 1. Range 3 on Wedge. 2 hits. 1 evade. 1 damage off Wedge. And his buddy. Accuracy corrects for 2 hits on Wedge. And I believe Wedge got another evade. This is interesting. Dash Rendar has put himself in an inevitable jousting position against the Tempest Squadron pilots. I would guess it's going to put most of them at range 1, if not touching him. And he's going to be on top of that asteroid, so he won't be able to fire. He, of course, he has 2 ion tokens, so he has to drift straight ahead. And his base is going to overlap that asteroid that's right in front of him. And the TIE Advanced will take a 3 straight maneuver straight ahead. At least Tempest 2 will, followed by Tempest number 1. Same maneuver there. They will both focus. He saved Dash from landing on that asteroid. They're also all going to be at range 1 of him, and therefore untargetable by Dash Rendar's heavy laser cannon. And Mauler Mythil will 2-bank in and run into his TIE Advanced buddies. Now, I can almost see Wedge taking like a 3-turn here, slipping into that gap, or 2 or 3 turns, slipping into that gap, and sacrificing himself for Dash. That is not what's going to happen here. He's going to move Dash Rendar first, who will bump into the Tempest. Wedge will take a 1-bank, or I'm sorry, a 1 straight for that TIE Advance formation. He's going to get to blow away Mauler Mythil. And he will have recovered a shield from that maneuver also, so I'll correct the correct his shield value there. Of course, via R2-D2. Marking that Tempest to see if Mauler Mythil is within range 1 of Dash. If they determine he is in fact within range 1, then Dash is unable to target Mauler Mythil, and is actually unable to target anyone. Han Solo is going to shoot Mauler Mythil out at, looks like range 2 first. What's up, Deck Officer 54? Oh, no, this is it's our second match of the evening. We have a 150-point game. Or we had 250-point games. I'll let you know when this is over if we're going to have a bonus match. I will stop this at 90 minutes, but if it goes the full 90 minutes, we're definitely not having a bonus match. We'll see how it goes. On solo at the outer reaches of range 2, I believe, onto Mauler Mythil. Oh, it is, I was wrong again. It is, in fact, range 3. On will focus. I think Mauler evaded everything. Wedge, range 1 onto Mauler Mythil. He will focus up for 3 hits. Mauler looks like he gets 1 evade, and a crit goes through on Mauler Mythil. I will find out what that crit is in just a moment. What was that crit? That was a console fire against Mauler Mythil. Mauler Mythil, range 1 on Wedge for 3 hits. What attack did... What did he roll? Okay. Well, 3 damage goes through on Wedge. Just asking why he rolled 3 evades, and it was a mistake, but it didn't matter because all the dice were blank anyway. And Wedge is blown away by the Tempest Squadron. Next Tempest Squadron into Dash Rindar. Accuracy correct for 2 hits. Two damage off Dash. 2 natural hits from the next Tempest. Two more damage off Dash. And accuracy corrected. Nope. No hits from the next ship. Why didn't he act? I guess it was 2 hits, and then Han Solo will focus and evade them away. Big thanks to everyone for tuning in. Just a reminder, we the next show would land right before our big convention here in the South, so we're gonna have to skip a show. We'll be back in 4 weeks with more X-Wing. And let me just verify the dates on that. Yeah, so we'll be back with our next X-Wing show on September 9th, and we will... Will it be September 9th? September 16th, excuse me. And on that day, we will announce our plans to add the next show to the game. We're going to add an Imperial Assault show. It was Trader Armor. He did roll 3 attack dice on several of those Tempest squadrons. On 2 of them, I believe. But the last attack was against Han Solo from Tempest number 1. He's in base-to-base contact with Dash Rendar, so he wasn't able to roll 3 dice. And also, one of them had to correct 3 dice into 2 hits. The auto accuracy corrector. Tempest number 2 goes 4 straight ahead. I'm hoping he didn't... I don't know if that was a K turn. He didn't turn around, obviously, because he hit dash. But, yep, there's a stress, so he attempted a K turn there. It did not work out for him. Tempest number 1 is able to clear. Tempest number 3 takes a 1 bank, runs into dash. No, he does not run into dash. He actually clears. I'm surprised. And impressed. And his buddy there, Tempest number 4, will follow suit. Who will then barrel roll to his left, likely trying to maintain a shot onto block and maintain a shot on Han Solo. Sorry, it took me a second. And here we have a furball. Did Dash do a K turn? Interesting. You got us 3 banked and barrel rolled there. 2 banked even. Actually, looks like Han Solo took a 3-turn anticipating the block and may have cleared the furball there. Or it's a 2-turn or a 3-turn. And he did, in fact, do the furball. That's great news for Han. Okay, none of these TIE Advance have taken damage, but it's difficult to keep track of which one is which on the screen. Number 2 is the one that bumped. Number 4 is the one at the top. The barrel roll. Number 3 is the one in the back. And yet another shot on Mauler Mythil. It's going to be range 1. And Mauler Mythil pops like a bubble. Ashrindar Heavy Laser Cannon at a Tempest Squadron. Appears as though he evaded. And now Tempest 1 will take range 1 into Han. And Han will lose a shield. Approaching the 1 hour mark in this match. How's everybody doing tonight? You having fun? Everybody hear me okay? Yet again, another difficult position for the Tempest. Tempest 1 could 3-turn and block Han, maybe. But he's stressed there, I think. Tempest 2 is also stressed. He could 2-turn down south there. Tempest 3 and 4 would probably like to do a K-turn, but there's an asteroid right in front of him. Tempest Squadron takes a 3 straight ahead. And he will focus. Tempest 2 takes that 2-turn I mentioned before. Remains stressed. Looks like Tempest 4 and Tempest 3 will follow suit. At least that's what I would predict. He will attempt to barrel roll towards Han. Doesn't look like he's going to fit. Tempest 3 will follow suit with that 2-turn. Now we're going to find out where the turrets are going. He's going to take that 1 bank. That will put him in front of 2, at least 2 out of 3 Tempest squadrons that are facing down toward the bottom there. And he will double evade focus, combining push the limit, recon specialist, Jan Ors, and the Millennium Falcon type. I'm seeing a barrel roll from Dash here. He one banks in, puts him right in front of Tempest 1. If he boosts ahead, if he boosts forward, then those Tempests will be inside the donut hole. Those other Tempests, the ones that he could shoot at the moment. He does choose to boost. That puts now 2 out of 4 Tempest squadrons inside the donut hole. I love the use of Lambot here. It's a little unusual, and I like it. He's a very thematic upgrade. He's in the back messing around with your engines, and then he gooses a little more juice out of them, but then they lock up. Han Solo's going to shoot shoot Tempest number 2, the closest one that's looking at him. One hit and easily evaded. Dash will heavy laser cannon the same target. Oh, wait. That was Han. So Dash had attacked before. I apologize for that confusion. Either they didn't correctly identify the target or I wasn't paying attention. They did. Okay, Tempest number 2 will range 1. 2 hits. Range 1, 2 hits into Han. Spends an evade token. The next Tempest Squadron, accuracy corrects for 2 hits into Han. Han will take 1 shield damage, and the final Tempest, accuracy correct for 2 hits into Han. And it appears as though shields are down on Han Solo, and that is 1 damage into hull. And if you just heard a loud crashing sound, that was me dropping the mic. Because I'm awesome. And that's what awesome people do. They drop the mic. Tempest number 1 will perform a K-turn. Tempest number 2 takes the 3 bank, moving to block on solo. I see a barrel roll in the near future from that ship. Oh, no, wait, he's stressed. So no barrel roll, but he moves into block on solo. That's a big thing. I need to refamiliarize myself with the TIE Advanced dial now that they're going to be a thing again. Han Solo is pretty much inevitably blocked anyway, so I guess it wouldn't have needed to do that barrel roll that I was talking about. Or does a 3 fit? The 3 bank actually fits in there. Is it off the table? Is it off the table? It looks to me like it's off the table. Well, no, they're jigging it around a lot. That looks like we're off the table. You guys need a judge? Oh, I can see how close. I mean, I can see it's close. I can't see how close. All right, Bubba and Imperial Ace are coming over here. Me being the official streaming person.
I think it's just really off.
Let me. Lambot does judge most of our tournaments, but since he's playing right now, yeah. If I. Assuming that you lined it up correctly at the other end, I'm going to say that, well, now I moved it. Put it back. They both set off. It looked like it was off on the camera. And in fact, I pushed it backwards. I pushed it closer to the table when I moved it, being all clumsy like I am, and it's still off. Yeah. Well, it's still off after I pushed it off back onto the table. Yeah, in case anybody cares, I was playing my Y-Wings earlier, and I walked Bubba's Millennium Falcon off the table. Made me happy. But that's, Han Solo's off the table. Trader Armor, I don't know, I don't know where you went. I guess nobody was talking, but, they were absolutely a thing, like, if you played way back Wave 2 and even a little bit into Wave 3 territory. But, like, Wave 3 was really when they became obviously overcosted. In my opinion, at least. Dash Rindar, takes a bank maneuver, lands on that asteroid. He can, of course, choose to roll off of it, and he will roll away from the enemy. Oh, you said ha again. I thought that was high with H-A-I, and you were being all clever and misspelling things on purpose, but no, that was just me being wrong. Yeah, they were absolutely a thing at one point in the game. In fact, Doug Kinney, who's a very cool guy, by the way, and has been on our show before, the 2012 world champion of X-Wing, won a world championship with Darth Vader in his squad. That was way back in Wave 1. So they were absolutely 100% a thing before Advanced Targeting Computer, or before the TIE X1 title. It's also, I will be the first to admit, and I know I've said it, I had the mic in my hand, but I went over to officially judge the measuring the thing, and I was the one who bumped the ship, of all people. But I bumped it in such a way that it moved back into the table and was still off. 2 hits from Dash, and 3 of 8s from a Tempest. Wait, what? They haven't moved. Oh, no. Lambot's just doing that thing where he presets his dials. I don't like that thing. That's okay, though. I don't want to say anything on here that'll piss him off, because he's our usual TO, and he'll make sure I don't win tournaments. Actually, I got second place in a tournament a couple of weeks ago at another store playing my 4 Y-Wings. Thug life. But that's another show. That's another story. So those TIE Advanced, they're going to take a 2-turn. Back the other way, I'd assume. Or no, they're not going to do that. They're going to K-turn. The one down at the bottom is either going to take a 1-bank and clear stress, or do a 2-turn and clear stress later. It's hard. It's hard to say something's overcosted when it's only one of 2 choices. Like, I definitely wouldn't say it's worth almost 2 TIE fighters, but I think Darth Vader specifically was pretty appropriately costed in Wave 1. I don't claim to be a pro at X-Wing, so you're more than welcome to your opinions. They're probably more accurate than my opinions. I'm not really sure what's going on. What's going on? Dials are down. I still see dice rolling. Now everybody's talking. See. Oh, they were rolling damage against Ghost Han Solo. Okay, we did. Dash is at 4 hull left. All of the TIE Advanced are untouched. That's accurate. I had a hull damage on Dash from before, which was apparently wrong, and I don't know where it came from. Okay, well, it's right now. That's all I need to know. Those Tempest Squadron take that K-turn. Down at the bottom there, Tempest takes a 2-turn. Tempest number 2 takes a 2-turn. Now they're all stressed. They're going to split that asteroid coming up pretty soon. Tempest number 1 takes a green, 3 straight, which is green, takes a focus action. And now we're going to find out where Dash is going. I just totally moved the wrong nameplate. The Outrider is not Tempest number 1. Spoiler alert. I think they're talking about whether or not he should boost again. He's going to ionize himself if he does. It's going to put him awfully close to that table edge in the following turn. Two hits from Dash against the Tempest, who in turn rolls 2 of 8s. Tempest number 4, accuracy corrects to 2 hits against Dash. He will focus for 2 of 8s. The other Tempest, accuracy corrects for 2 hits against Dash. And takes 2 of 8s. And then the last one, accuracy corrects for 2 hits against Dash. And Dash will take another damage. And because of the way the program here works, I just changed the font accidentally, so I'm going to correct that for you here momentarily. There we go. Sorry about that. It's happened before, and I'm not happy about it, but that's how it goes. Okay, based on where the ships are. If Dash decided to be a little daring and took a 1 turn down toward the bottom, he could barrel roll out. Barrel roll / boost and avoid everything. I think. He turn to the left, then barrel roll to his left. He would fit in between those 2 Tempests. I think. Could be wrong. We'll see what Dash chose to do. More than likely, he just turned away. But I expect a 3-turn to the right toward the top of the screen. Or 1 turn. It's fine. Probably the better overall choice. But Josh will choose to hang out where he is and take a focus action. All 4 of these TIE Advanced are currently pointed at him. They're all untouched, so none is a better target than any other. It just depends on... If I were him, I'd be thinking about where I want to go next turn and which one is the most likely choice to be able to be shot again. Which in most cases would be the closest one. So he's going to take a heavy laser cannon, a Tempest 1, I believe. 1 hit and 2 evades. Attack is canceled. Tempest number 1. Accuracy corrects for 2 hits. It looks like a focus. You need to spend it. You need to spend it. He will spend for 1 evade, make it 2 hits, or make it 1 hit goes through, and 2 hits remaining. Next Tempest, accuracy correct for 2 hits. That's going to happen a lot this turn. Looks like 1 more evade and 1 more damage. And 2 hits naturally this time. I think you got 2 evades. Oh, no, that's the game. I'm going to go out and it's a little late to start another match. So if you're waiting for a bonus match, I'm going to make the call and say we're not going to fit one in tonight. But we remember to come back in 4 weeks. We will be back with more X-Wing. And in the meantime, I'm going to walk outside and have a nice, have a little chat with our players. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. If you want to hear what the players have to say about their game, feel free. And then after that, I'm going to let you know, I'm going to send you off with a fly casual. But before that, I'm going to do what we do. Hi. So, we were just talking right before the match wrapped up here about how the TIE Advanced is now a thing. David, talk about the TIE Advanced. Like, what you ran, what else you think is good or bad about the TIE Advanced now. Just talk about the new ship. Because it's basically a new ship. And I'm going to hog the mic so you keep making faces at me for as long as I possibly can.
I'm gonna walk over to this side of the table so Brandon can't take it anymore. So I was running the 4 accuracy correctors on. Yeah, you get the 2 free hits and every turn, and so you can choose to kind of go more defensive with it. Yeah, you could. I guess you could cancel your hits.
No, it's
oh, sure. You can't take gunner on a TIE Advance, so that's not good for it. But so really, I took my 100-point list of the 4 TIE Advance. I'm doing the 4 TIE Advance with title, accuracy corrector, and cluster missiles. I took the cluster missiles off to add Dark Curse, who did absolutely nothing. So the cluster missiles would have been just as helpful, but I guess he took Dark Curse died to 2 shots, but I guess it was a heavy laser cannon. But yeah, it was looking really bad for me because so there's one point where Han was stressed, and I was like, he's gonna either run over this rock into me, or he's gonna land on the rock. And he takes a one bank, and he was basically as close to that rock to about as close as he was off the table. So he was that close to the rock that
Brandon's really good at being that close to things and making us wonder if he hit them or not.
Yeah. So I had it lined up to get six ships shooting at him that turn. That would have done a whole lot of damage to Han, but instead he didn't run into the rock. He boosts right to in front of Soontir, so he gets a shot with Han in general, because if he would have been on the rock, he could have shot. And then he also gets the shot with Wedge, and I couldn't really do anything to evade Wedge because he was in my kind of boost spot. But I mean, pretty much once my added ships died, the 2 TIE fighters and Soontir, it's like the game completely changed.
It's the 100-point list that you started with, like, basically.
Yeah, well, I was 16 points low. I was 16 points shy. The other variation is to drop the missiles and take Dark Curse, but I think I'd rather have the missiles, but I might be, because Dark Curse is an extra ship for MOV, and also the missiles can be good against big ships like what I was fighting, because you can still use accuracy correctors, so you get 2 3-dice attacks that do a minimum of 2 damage each, or 2 hits each, and they can deal damage. And then against a big ship that's 4 damage, they have 2 dice to roll against a Falcon. So, and with 4 of those, that's a lot of damage.
It is. I mean, that 8. I guess it'd be 16 like hits that are just guaranteed to pop. Yeah, guaranteed to face up. Yeah. So, or guaranteed to you're gonna roll 16 hits.
16 hits against.
So, I can't tell if you're in the camera, so I'm gonna move over here. What? Again, I'm gonna bring up the TIE Advanced again. Like, and we've had Darth Vader on the show, but like, I like that David was playing the Tempest here. It's the cheapest one. So what's your opinion of the TIE Advanced? And when you saw 4 of them over there, like, how did you approach the start of the game because of that?
I'd not seen a lot of TIE Advanced at all. I don't think I've actually ever played against one. I've seen them run, but
I got beaten by a triple TIE Advanced list the other day, and it was awful.
Yeah. So I was a little hesitant because I didn't really, I don't have the new epic ship, so I'm not entirely sure how that's going to play, how it's going to be to play against it. Honestly, going back, I probably would have focused on them first, because that's a lot of hull and shields.
It's hiding behind 3 evades. It's like, and it's a dice game. Like, that can go either way, or they can, like, freaking shooting it. I mean, well, he shot at Dark Curse, and Dark Curse died after 2 shots, but then he shot at your TIE Advance, and they evaded everything repeatedly. And that's, I mean, I've been where you are. Trust me.
It was bad before, but I think after Han ran away, I think my dice were discouraged. So, yeah, a heavy laser cannon can do a lot of damage. Just, if I gotta use the Lambot to boost or barrel roll to get out of arcs, I can't modify.
Couple of questions. There were one point where you were facing towards a lot of attacks, and then you chose to Lambot again, and that gave you 2 ion tokens, still facing towards a lot of it. Like, what? Was he out of range? Is that what the determination was?
I think I was either out of range.
That's what I was thinking as to why you had done it. So I'm just curious.
Yeah, I believe I was out of range, or I was trying to draw a bit of fire from Wedge.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Lambot and Brandon are saying that they would have been out of range. So my next question is, then you K-turned with dash, and that was it. Like, was there? Yeah, and it's just like, it's not necessarily that it's a bad move. It's just not that. It's not what people would expect with a turret. Generally, like, the only time lately I've seen a turret K-turn is when it's trying to keep an auto thruster ship in front of it. Otherwise, you could, like, 3-turn or 3-bank and it'd be fine. So, like, was there? I don't know. Did you were you lining yourself up for next turn, or what was your idea? What were you thinking there?
That was partly for next turn so I could keep behind them. Partly it was because I'm sick, tired, and hungry, and I wasn't thinking straight.
Oh no, and I don't mean to say that that's a bad move. I was curious, honestly, what you were thinking about.
But no, if I was in a clearer state of mind, I probably would have done a Actually,
Like, I'll be honest, I can't remember what was around you at that point in time. Like, I know you were close to the edge.
the 2400 doesn't have a 3 hard, so he may.
It does. It has. It's the only. It has all three. It has turns at all 3 speeds, unlike the Falcon.
Yeah, I got it mixed up. So yeah, I probably should have done 3 hard. I might not have been able to clear it, or I might have been thinking, oh, they're there now.
I mean, no, and then if you UK turn, you can chase them. So that makes sense. Any closing thoughts from yourself or from Lambot? Lambot, who ran away to put his stuff up.
I mean, if Falcon had made it through, it would have been legendary. I'd actually been watching his last game, and he was mentioning blocking to force somebody off the board. And so I saw where the positioning was. I was trying to get around that to 3-bank around them, which was very, very close. So, you know, because a hard turn, I don't think would have made it.
Right.
Positioned, I don't think any of my hard turns are.
I think a 2-turn would have hit him, and your back corner may have been off the table anyway. It's hard to say.
I think so. Yeah, that's what I was thinking was going to happen.
That definitely happened.
He would have been off.
If he would have turned, he would have gone off too.
So it was just a pro move, and you do what you can to get around it, and it doesn't always work.
Well, I didn't expect the 3-bank. I was expecting a 1-bank because anything straight would have gone off the table, and the 1-bank he would have hit my ship, and I would have so no actions to get all his like 2 evade dice and a focus. Then I have two guys focused with accuracy correctors looking at him, and then at that point I can pretty much just slow roll in front of him, so he has to turn out, and I can kind of block him into a corner and just tear him up. So that's the idea. So my closing thought also is that I probably would have done the 100-point-ish list with a like 50-ish point Cheernu instead, but I don't have my decimator with me, so that's most of the reason I did the TIE Fighters. Any
other things that we should talk about? Dragon Con. If you're going to Dragon Con, come see Lambot in the basement, in the dungeon of the Hilton. I'll be there occasionally. I can't stick around because I actually work on the other end of the convention, which is like literally the furthest place away this year. That is. Oh yeah. There's also Lambot's dress is over here in a bag. Yeah, but we're gonna be at Dragon Con playing X-Wing. Are you having a tournament? What's going on exactly? Is there a tournament? Or is there demos, or?
Man, I'm really close to this thing. All right. So what we're doing? No, I want to be really far away so you can't see me scowling at you. So Dragon Con weekend, if you haven't been before, it's Labor Day weekend, which is a week from this weekend. We're open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The X-Wing we're just doing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we are doing demos. And we'll have tables open for free play from 10 to 6 every day. And then inside of that, I think starts at 4 o'clock. I'll have to actually check. We have we're doing our free-for-all furball, which if you are regular to the stream, you probably have seen that before. We're going to do that on Friday, and if people ask me to do it, we'll do it whenever. And then Saturday is our 100-point normal 100-point tournament. I think it's like a $3 entry because that's how Dragon Con does it. So,
dude, prize support, $3 tournament. That's a thing.
So what I was told is that this is my first time doing Dragon Con, but what the guy told me is for every so many people, I get a Dragon Con token that's worth so many dollars.
Oh yeah, I know about that because I work in the vendor hall. You get for doing various things around the convention, they give you Dragon tokens, and it's like $5. There's like a $1 one and a $5 one, and you can cash that in for merchandise in the vendor hall. And the vendors get really annoyed. I guess I shouldn't say this, but they get really annoyed when they have to cash in this free money, basically. But it's free money. You should win.
So yeah. So for however many people I have, I get tokens, and I'll give those out to top placing people. And then Sunday, same time as the 100-point tournament, so it's probably 4 o'clock or 4 or 5. It's gotta be earlier than that. I think it's like 1. We're doing the 2v2 tournament. So it's kind of like the 150-point, except it's just 2 players, 75 points each. The 2 players have to be the same faction and you can't have the same type of ship between the two players. So like if I'm running my 3 TIE Advances, then and Brandon's on my team, he has to play Empire, but he cannot play TIE Advances, so he has to do something else.
Soontir Cardinal Jacks?
Sure, I guess.
That's 75-ish points. 74, I think.
So we did one a month or so ago.
And in fact, if you go to the YouTube channel, it's along the top of the screen here. There's an episode where we did 2v2, 75 points. It might be the last episode. I don't remember.
Yeah. So the tournament we did, the best performing list was the only one that went swarmy. It had like 5 or 6 A-wings and like 5 B-wings, several B-wings. I think 3 B-wings, and they had like fire control systems or something like that, and I think they had 5 A-wings. 5 cents? I don't know. There you go. 5 A-wings and I guess 3 B-wings with stuff. But they definitely did the best because they had twice as many ships as most people. 'Cause most people brought 2 ships each, so 4 ships.
I was surprised, like 150 points, and we had both of our players for the first match tonight played 2 ships. Anyway, come to if you're not going to the Nova Open because it's the same weekend, or you're not going to PAX Prime because it's the same weekend, you should come to Dragon Con and play X-Wing with Lambot. And really, if you're going to either one of those, you should change your mind and come to Dragon Con anyway. But we won't have another show, so fly casual to anyone who is going to the Nova Open. That's a big deal. They give lots of stuff away to charity, and we like that. We lost half the viewers. I'm not surprised. We'll be back in approximately 1 month. We're going to take 1 show off, and we'll be back on September 16th with more X-Wing. Fly casual, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good night.